Welcome everybody to episode 25 of the Take Aim Gamescast. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Scott Mills, the Microsoft/PC expert. Ow. And on my left, I've got Brett Wolf, the PlayStation expert.
Welcome everybody to the Take Aim Gamescast.
Episode 25.
Episode 25, the quarter century mark. We made it!
Woo. And on my right, I've got Eric King, the Nintendo expert, / a little bit of everything, / some news.
How you guys doing?
Well, today...
Your seat's falling apart, Scott.
Is it really?
Oh yeah. Yeah. If you guys just see me,
back at all.
like, boom! I just, like, fall over. That'd be good.
We won't help you out, Scott. Just let you fucking just sit there and like...
I'll be like talking and...
I should just like kick the chair.
You should have. Yeah, you should have.
It'll be good for the viewers.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably have another shorter episode today. We're still working on our E3 coverage coming up.
Live from Los Angeles,
That's right.
California, it's Take Aim Games.
But yeah, for today we'll go through some of the news that happened, and we'll talk about some moments that we remember from E3's past. And
So,
we'll just have some
so this is kind of like the start of our countdown towards E3. So next week we'll have some more E3, discussions, and then we'll have our predictions the Friday before E3 starts. I believe that will be June 6th or 7th. So the 7th. So, but yeah, it's kind of like our lead up and build up until that, because it's gonna be hopefully one of our best shows we do, because we have a lot of stuff to talk about. So this past month or so, it's been kind of like not a lot going on. But this week, I think there's some decent topics we can talk about really quick, and then get to our main topic.
That's right. So,
And I bought a dog.
you bought a
bought a
dog.
dog.
Yes. So
Mascot number
let's
2.
hear about the dog.
You said mascot number 2?
Yeah. So
Yeah, you won't see her here today. But
yeah, really quick. She's not here. She's
Should
visiting.
have been perfect up on this table for our episode.
But Rocky will went crazy and the fucking the hunter can't protect her, the wolf can't, Spider-Man definitely not Kratos. But yeah, so we got her name's Ellie, and we got her Wednesday night, and I just want to kind of give her a shout because I love you so much, my little princess, and you guys will get a chance to meet her soon. She's a tentative situation while we get her situated at our new forever home.
and while we get her used to Rocky.
Yeah. So maybe I'll show you guys a video. I'll post it on the Take Aim Games channel as a formal introduction for our mascot number 2, Ellie Wolf. So
I think that's fitting.
but yeah, I just want to give a update on that, and then Worth a Dip, episode 5, I believe, will be on Sunday, and I think I'm gonna do Dauntless, which is a free game right now on PlayStation. I know Jared mentioned talking about it today. Well, he wants to play it tonight after we do this, so I'll probably do a Gamescast on that.
Nice.
So it's been tough. I haven't really done anything on PlayStation because I've had a dog, so hopefully Emmy can give me a chance to get that review in and uploaded on Sunday. So that's an update on me.
Nice. Yeah, my streaming, I took a break this week, just life things that I had to do that I just didn't get a chance to stream this week. But this next week, hopefully I'll get back to doing some more nostalgia hours. So get back to some older games. I mean, I still have a bunch of older Blizzard games I can go over. I could do the Marathon series, which was Bungie's series before Halo. Just a bunch of stuff that I have of old games.
And I've done a lot of Rage, and I plan on bringing you guys episode number 2 of my trilogy, and I'll probably do that before the end of the weekend.
Okay.
Alright, Rage episode 2, the middle. So you're around midway through the game now.
I don't know if I'm halfway through, but I put like a good, solid like 8 hours.
So do you know how long the game is at the game? Because you're just playing.
See, now that's what I'm not sure. I put like a solid 8 hours in, but I feel like I'm probably pretty far along. I've been doing a lot of side missions too, though. So.
Okay. Cool. We're looking forward to that. So
Yeah.
a lot of videos you should see posted along with this one this weekend. So check us out.
So let's jump into the news. You guys both have Dreams. You guys haven't played it too much since.
I hopped back into it a couple days ago.
Okay.
I did, and the levels you gotta check them out because like they've actually been working on them with the actual creators, and they're coming pretty far along. I played like a Sonic game, which was actually pretty cool. Like the original music
That'd be cool.
from was it Green Hill Zone or something from the Sega game, Sega Genesis, and I played. There's another game I played. I forget what it was called, but it was another kind of Crash Bandicoot.
I was gonna say, doesn't someone have a Crash one?
Yeah, but it's kind of like it's not like the one I played was kind of like just an open level, but there was like boxes and stuff and a little tiki guy that kind of goes around you or whatever. But that was pretty much it, and it wasn't a lot to it. But if you can like create levels in it, it could be pretty cool. So, but yeah, I jumped into it and. People are coming along with it, and people are starting to review it. The early access
I've seen
portion.
some early reviews have been pretty good from what I saw.
So yeah, I saw Game Informer gave it 9.5 out of 10. So.
Well, those are just,
It's the squeaky ball, mascot number one.
Well, it's a review on the early access. So, but yeah, it's a good sign that we did that after hours on it, and it was pretty. Pretty
maybe
fun.
I'll have to revisit the after hours again sometime, and see some of those games that you played in that, if they've been
If they've evolved, we'll have to check that out. So
Cool.
yeah, that's cool for Dreams. So I'm glad for me and Molecule. And there's a mascot. Oh!
get down.
Down.
Get down. Give it to him, I guess.
Hey, yeah, you guys won't mind hearing some squeaking. It's fine. But some other news. I know that Sean, when he was on a couple weeks ago, talked about Man of Medan, developed by Supermassive Games, who developed Until Dawn. They released a new trailer for their upcoming game, Man of Medan. And I did watch it, but I don't know if either of you guys watched
Throw
it.
it in throw it in the bathroom or something for that.
Here, keep going.
Yeah.
Sorry, Scott. Keep going.
So, I think you were saying you hadn't really watched
Yeah,
it.
so I posted a link on social media between the four of us. I was supposed to watch it because I think when did I take it? Maybe Tuesday
Yeah,
or
that was a
something,
couple days ago.
or Wednesday. I just didn't get a chance to watch it, but I know Sean was kind of interested in it, so I'll for sure watch. I just saw it pop up on social media.
So I did watch it, and it was an interesting trailer, in that you get. They definitely are showing off that it's going to be a choice-based game.
Okay, cool.
So you've got, you come up to this wall, and it's you can either choose to hide or run, and then it's got another choice comes up 5 seconds later. You can choose to take this hallway or this hallway, or and it looks like it's just a series of almost these binary choices, and they all leading all these choices branch out, and I'm assuming into a ton of different scenarios that happen throughout the game. So I'll be kind of interested to see how in depth the choices are in that game. It's not really as much about the gameplay and action, but when you have a choice-based game like that, that's a story game, it's more about how good the story is and all the different decisions that lead up to what you can do. So that make those games cool. The Walking Dead that Telltale did was a great story, and that works for.
What were you guys talking about? Because I kind of missed it because I was running
Man
around
of
with him.
Medan. I don't know
Is
if
that
you
the one that-
saw.
Sean was that's one I tagged on social media with us.
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you watch that trailer at all?
Yeah, I watched it. It was
Yeah.
while I was working, I was in my truck, so I couldn't really hear it that great. But
Yeah, I thought it was cool again. I didn't really like Until Dawn that much.
Shame on you.
Because of I just didn't connect with the college kids that much. But if this says characters that I enjoy, then I would probably want to check it out. Because I do like this type of game with the choices and the story-based games.
Yeah.
So that's that. There's also, I think we might have mentioned last week, but we didn't talk about it much. Microsoft and Sony actually agreed on something together for once, and they're going to be kind of sharing technology in regards to cloud streaming. So I don't know if that means Microsoft's willing to share like some of their xCloud stuff that they're working on, because we know that that's Microsoft's cloud streaming service that they're working on. Or
Yeah, it's
where that's
shocking to
going.
me because it
It's
seems like
interesting.
Sony doesn't want to agree with anyone.
Yeah.
Paying.
They've been big
Well, I guess they
rivals
finally agreed to do EA Access, which was
Mhm.
what, like 3 years.
3 years.
in the making. So yeah, this was
Well,
I guess
maybe.
I guess maybe they're trying to branch out a little bit more and try to get into like agreements with people a little bit more, but
Does anybody else?
they didn't want to fucking do like anything with anybody. Like they want to fucking, what do you call where you play online with other people?
Crossplay?
Crossplay, yeah. They didn't want to do crossplay with anybody. Everyone else was fucking jumping on board with that, except for them. So yeah, this was kind of shocking to me.
Does anybody think this is a response to Stadia? That Microsoft and Sony's kind of like, hey, we're the
We're the big dogs.
Well, yeah, we're the big dog. We're the old guard here. Let's not let the new kid in. Did anybody else kind of get that vibe?
Could be.
Maybe. Yeah, that might be. Because I know Microsoft has been working on cloud streaming stuff for a little while. But yeah, I don't know, like, it didn't really seem like Sony really had many plans going into this space.
They have
so-
PlayStation Now, which is their
Yeah.
streaming service, but it's not like that's based on a bunch of PlayStation sitting in a data center, just
Yeah.
sitting there and streaming the games.
Yeah.
I think this is an advantage to Sony. Just it's gonna help Microsoft too, because I'm not sure what they're gonna get in return besides maybe some hardware. Help. If I had to guess of anything that they would want from Sony would be something to do with hardware, but Sony's gonna try to take advantage of all the data centers that Microsoft has. And isn't Azure, Azure, isn't that owned by Microsoft?
Yes, that's Microsoft's system.
So I think they want to get on board with that and really kind of help them with their streaming, their cloud streaming. So we know that all their PSN's been behind on doing stuff, and Microsoft's the king when it comes to, like we talked about in multiple episodes, they're the king when it comes to software and how many data centers they have in the United States and in the world basically. And I think it's an advantage for Sony to team up with them. And again, I think the trade-off would be that Sony would give some information to Microsoft when it comes to hardware, stuff like that, or any other technology points that they may be able to help. So, and plus it helps Microsoft too, because Sony's probably either leasing some technology probably or something. I mean, obviously, if Sony, has Windows computers in their offices, that's Microsoft.
Oh yeah.
So Microsoft's making their money.
That's fun.
So and I guess I read that like the PlayStation people were kind of like taken aback by it, like they weren't aware this was happening. But again, like they don't make it's an executive, a top level thing.
Yeah.
I bet if like they did tell the people lower down, leaks would get out, and that deal could potentially fall through.
Yeah.
So they want to keep it hush hush. Like I don't think that's
That's a good point.
I don't think that's kind of like a bad thing that the PlayStation people didn't really know. I think that when we're talking about like PlayStation people, like the worldwide studios like Sean Layden and the people up, higher up, I'm sure Jim Ryan knew about it. I mean, he's the executive and he's the CEO of, PlayStation, the PlayStation division. So I'm sure he had like some inkling. But the developers don't even know. The first-party studios don't even know that yet.
No, yeah.
You make a deal, and then you have a staff meeting or a conference call, and you discuss it. That's how level people make their money, and they make the decisions. So I think it's a good move by Sony. They were definitely lacking behind Microsoft when it comes to what I've seen from streaming and software stuff. So they need to really get on board with that, and I think it's good for them.
Yeah, I agree with everything you were saying. With how it also benefits Microsoft too. Just piggybacking off of what you said. Yeah, it's good. I think anytime companies are working together, sharing knowledge, it's good for technological growth.
But-
just like evolving.
But definitely, it's definitely don't. I think it's naive or ignorant to think that this isn't a response to Google Stadia.
Oh yeah.
Especially after Google Stadia talked
'Cause that was
shit in
a
their.
huge,
Well, do you guys remember that in their conference where like they're like this would be running at over 10 teraflops, and then they showed the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro.
Yeah, they took a.
That's
big
still.
hit
Do you
on
remember that?
Yeah.
I didn't watch the whole conference.
Yeah, they showed like
Yeah,
it was like a slide on a PowerPoint presentation where they showed like PS4 Pro, 4.2 teraflops, the
I
Xbox
remember
One
that.
X 6, and they showed Google Stadia like 10 point something.
Yeah.
So that was obviously a dig at them, man. I know Google's trying to like nudge their way into that, into the market. They have to. It's a very, but companies have done that before. Microsoft did that. They got their way into the, into like the video game industry. But I mean, obviously Xbox didn't sell as well. But then the 360 took off. So, but yeah, I think it's definitely a good move
Yeah.
for Sony.
And we should be hearing some more from Stadia this summer, so I would think in the next couple of months we'd hear some stuff from Stadia. I don't know if they're
They said June.
anything at E3.
Well, they said June, so I'm assuming we're having some type of like thing happening next month.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if it's gonna be around E3 or what.
we'll find out.
Some other small news. There's some news I saw that Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, that there might be a film adaptation being written or in the works. I think
Is that your
that'd be
favorite game of
awesome.
all time?
Yeah, that's my favorite game. So I think that would be great if Star Wars could do that. But I know that they also have cut back a little bit on the Star Wars side story movies that they do, because Solo didn't do great in the box offices. So it sounds like it's still a bunch of rumors. Like the story I read was there's like 2 different writers that could be writing.
Well, they have the Game of Thrones directors now, like running the Star Wars, the next trilogy for Star Wars.
Yeah.
So people were saying
That's
that like,
pretty cool.
well, people were saying that like they were just trying to rush through Game of Thrones just to be able to start writing the movies.
Well, that was the crappy directors. The good director went.
No, they're both of
Oh
them
yeah,
are.
that's a good
No,
point.
there's a third one.
Is there a third one?
Yeah, he's the good one. He did like Battle of the Bastards, and like he didn't do a whole lot
Well,
of those, but he went over to the Lord of the Rings series for Amazon.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
We did talk about Game of Thrones last week. So how did you guys like the finale? I guess I'll start with Eric here.
I don't know. Watching it, I was kind of just getting all the press watching
Because
it.
your
but-
predictions didn't come true?
No, not necessarily. Just because it was like coming to an end. I think I don't know if I'd necessarily. Now that it's been like a week, I kind of think the ending was actually pretty decent. But like watching it, I was like so disappointed. But I think it was just because of the fact that it was finally coming to an end,
Yeah.
and it was like 8 years in the making. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think the ending seemed
Yeah,
to
you
make a
did
lot
good
of
run.
sense. I didn't really like Bran. Spoiler alert. Coming
Oh yeah, guys. Right.
Spoiler alerts.
Well,
for Game of Thrones.
I didn't say anything until spoiler alert.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't like Bran becoming the king. But I don't know. I guess it makes more sense than John. John obviously is going to be happy being out in the wild and kind of doing his own thing. I don't think he even wanted to be king, so
Yeah.
I don't know who else would have made sense besides him. Maybe Robert Baratheon, but
Herbert, he's dead.
What?
Gendry?
Gendry.
Oh.
Yeah, Gendry Baratheon. He would have made sense because then they could have joined houses or whatever and had Arya be queen. But
She
obviously they dumped that a couple episodes earlier. That wasn't gonna happen. But
Yeah, really quick for me, I was kind of whelmed by it. I wasn't overwhelmed, wasn't underwhelmed. It's kind of like, whatever with I was kind of mad at, again, spoilers, but, we already spoiled it, Bran being king. I wanted Jon to be king. I was right about Jon killing Daenerys, though, so pretty proud of myself about that. And I knew I didn't buy the Jaime Lannister being alive theory that Eric was trying to really push, so I didn't buy that. But I'm just happy that Ghost got his pets, and, he's a good boy, and he's way there for Jon. But I just don't understand why Jon and the Wildlings are going north of the wall. Like, why? Like, why don't they just stay, why don't they just go to Winterfell and help
let's
build?
go to the North Pole where it's super cold.
Yeah, that was stupid, but I guess it fits Jon's character that he's happier up north and, doesn't have to deal with any more of this bullshit politics stuff that's been, something probably going to happen in 100, right in his lifetime, something stupid's going to happen, and he doesn't want to get involved with that. So, but yeah, that's about the one play.
That's interesting. So I know that HBO and George R. R. Martin have talked about there might be a bunch of spin-off series related to the Game of Thrones world. But I know that George R. R. Martin's written a couple of prequels, like, or events that happened like years ago. Like I think like Blood and Fire or something was one, which
We
goes
saw that in
back
the
to
bookstore.
that old
Well, it was just the Targaryen history.
Well,
yeah, that goes back to the Targaryen history. I think it's the that guy who got overthrown by
Aegon,
yeah.
the Mad King. Segueing from that, if you don't mind, let's transition to a rumor circulating right now. Is George R. R. Martin and From Software are supposedly making a game together.
Oh, I did hear that, yeah.
And it's rumored to be announced at the Microsoft conference at E3.
And it's fitting that we went over.
And we
like,
talked
what
about this in the last episode.
Yeah.
And I thought about From Software because of the they're used to working on medieval stuff. And I knew.
Yeah.
And remember I talked about a couple months ago. We talked about that they were working on multiple games.
Yeah.
This could be one of them. It could be.
It could be.
And I'm still thinking they're working. This could be maybe I don't think it's a PlayStation exclusive game, but I don't know. Like, is it gonna be like a Dark Souls type?
Microsoft conference today.
Yeah. I guess you're right. So yeah, I mean, you're right. So whatever that's gonna be, is it kind of another Dark Souls type game? Or is this gonna be like a Game of Thrones? Like, who knows?
I don't know. I could be more excited for it being a From Software game because maybe it'll actually have a little bit better story now. If George R. R. Martin's working with it because that's definitely their weak point. Storytelling.
Or George R. R. Martin. I think he was a executive producer on a game rumored. Maybe he's just giving some of the rights over to From Software, like character licenses and stuff. But I'm not sure. I guess he owns that, right? I think HBO owns the television rights.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what would happen in the video game rights if he owns that still, and he can like lease it out or give it to people. Like what Disney did with EA. I don't know, but it's interesting. I'm excited to see like that. I'll watch a Microsoft press conference for that to see that.
Yeah,
that's
that'll
a
cool
sure thing. So.
Yeah, did any of us say From Software? No, yeah, none of us actually predicted.
What was your prediction, Eric? CD Projekt Red.
Yeah. I said Blizzard.
I would rather have CD Projekt Red, but we'll see what From Software can do with it.
So yeah, that's pretty cool though. And I think it would be cool to see a spin-off series like after the events too, like or maybe a movie or something of Game of Thrones, like afterwards movie.
Yeah, I think it needs to simmer a little bit before let a lot more people watch it now that it's final. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, probably. But with that, we started talking about E3. So we talked about the Game of Thrones game being developed by From Software. Well, we'll wait until next week to do like stuff like that, but or the next couple of weeks to do our predictions.
Well, I guess we can't use that in one of our predictions,
What was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the George R. R. Martin thing.
Well,
So
I guess you could predict that it's a Game of Thrones game, but because that's not.
But I guess it has to be
100%
confirmed.
Well, George R. R. Martin's working on it. It's going to be Game of Thrones.
I have a lot of bumps on my arms.
But we wanted to kind of go over some moments in E3 history that we remember that were really cool. So I guess, Brett, do you want to start off?
I'll just let Eric go first.
Oh, okay. Let's go with Eric. I just figured that he was so
don't
busy
be mean to him.
playing with
This
Rocky's toy.
This is my Yarny.
Come on, dude. Don't do that to him.
He's a little yarn.
Oh yeah, the Yarny.
But yeah, I think Yarny is my all-time favorite, for sure.
Just because he was nervous and he was passionate about his game and making fun of him with having his little yard. It was a little bit weird that he brought it out. But he was nervous. Like those people don't get paid to public speak in front of hundreds of thousands of people in a conference room and watching streaming on TV and shit.
If anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, go look up Yarny E3 reveal. What's the game actually called?
Unraveled.
Unraveled E3.
You know what? When they did,
It
I think,
ended up being pretty good.
well, when was he the one? Was it last year? He announced Unravel 2. Yeah, I think it was last year.
And he did better, right?
And he did so much better. Yeah, he wasn't like that nervous. I think the game dropped that day on EA Access.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Like it came out like that day, like co-op. So yeah, I remember that though. Cause I remember like cringing so hard. I'm like, why would you put this guy on the stage and, you know, like if you're not a good public speaker, like I'm not. I get nervous talking in front of like 10 people, let alone fucking that many people. But you know that isn't what I'll be doing. I guess like I can do what he did. But so that's your favorite. That's one of your favorite moments.
Probably my top moment.
Okay. I'm not gonna rank them. My favorite moment. Well, okay. I'm not gonna rank
I'm
them.
not gonna rank my favorite.
One of my favorite moments. I remember. I think it was E3 2015, and I remember hyping The Last Guardian for a long time, watching videos and. You know, because I remember my first E3 I ever remembered was E3 2006, I believe. And I was watching on Spike, and they showed The Last Guardian's first trailer. And I remember being like, you know, this is super interesting, super cool, like super like, just like amazing. And then it went on hiatus, it wasn't talked about for a long time. And then they finally brought it back. I remember Sean Layden talking about, I remember watching it in my room. I was texting my girlfriend at the time. I'm like, you know, they're actually going to show this game I've been talking about to you that you probably didn't care about one bit, but I was telling you anyways. And they're talking about like a relationship between like a young boy and, you know, and a creature. And I'm like, holy shit. And then they actually showed it. I remember like screaming. Mom's like, what are you doing? It's 9:10 p.m. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, they should show The Last Guardian. And like, I remember I texted you guys, I think, because we were like, you guys were all like, man, Microsoft won E3 already. I'm like, let Sony go. I remember Scott texted in the group message, and he's like,
him and Nick were the ones.
yeah, well, Scott and Nick both were playing like sword fighting with their, you know, dinglings. Fucking like, oh, Microsoft is, you know, winning E3. And I'm like, well, let Sony go. And I remember Scott texted, he's like, if Sony shows Last Guardian, they win.
Oh,
I remember that. Yeah. And sure enough, in the first 5 minutes, they showed it. And their whole conference was amazing.
Yeah. That was a really good year, I remember.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I don't remember what all they showed that year. Was that the year they showed like Monster Hunter World?
That was open 17, 16.
I don't remember, but I just remember that was a really good conference. They just kept showing game after game because they started pretty much with Last Guardian, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
just went up from there. So.
Yeah. God, that's one of my favorite memories.
Yeah.
I have more about Let's Scott, you know.
Okay, yeah. Mine's is like back when they were doing 360 stuff and when they were announcing Kinect. And I remember I was all excited because like I like Peter Molyneux games, like Black and White series and Fable. I played the first Fable game and I really liked that.
But
And they
around
had
10
him,
minutes, Eric.
revealing, and they had this like cool like girl or something on the video game screen, and they had this real world note, and they scanned it into the game or whatever. I was like, wow, this is so cool, and it was completely meaningless. I don't even know what it means, but at the time I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then then Kinect ended up being like, it was cool at first, but then it just never really stuck around.
When you bought your Xbox, did it come with the Kinect?
No, I didn't, because it was Kinect. I didn't get a 360, but then with Xbox One, I got Xbox One late enough in
Yeah, it wasn't bundled with
Kinect
the
had
Kinect.
started, going out by that time.
Okay. Eric, any more memories?
Well, just Ubisoft conferences, they're always
Cringy as shit.
cringy as fuck.
I remember.
I think it's funny how they're always like trying to be, you know, hip and cool, swearing and all this stuff. You can tell they're like forcing it.
Like what's her name? The girl that was like she was in Friends and stuff. I think she's a voice, one of the voices in Archer, and she's actually a really good voice actress, and she's a pretty good actress. But God, she is so cringy. And remember when she sat next to that one guy in this?
You're talking about the really tall chick, right?
Yeah, the black girl, yeah. And like, remember when she was, I don't know if you guys remember when she was sitting next to that one guy who was dressed in like the Assassin's Creed Syndicate outfit?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that?
He was in the crowd.
Yeah, he
like,
said,
yeah.
and he like, she asked him something, and he's something
You
weird.
had nothing to say.
Yeah.
He was like,
And she's like, okay then, like, yeah. Oh god.
Yeah, I always just like Ubisoft conferences. I don't know why. But
I
Yeah.
just like making fun of him.
yeah, I've never been a big fan of Ubisoft games, but
They're hit or
I
miss.
picked one on my Gamescast.
Another one I can think of is I think it was I think it was 16, I think, when they first showed the orchestra, and you know, they came out with you know, one of Eric's favorite game this generation, and they showed the first trailer for God of War, and you know, again, Eric was on the hype train before I was, because, you know, I'm like, I don't know, it's same old, it's gonna be the same old Kratos and whatever. But like, I remember when they showed a trace in the beginning, he was like playing with his toys, and then you heard somebody say, like, you know, it was obviously Kratos saying like, "Get in here, boy," or something. And then they showed like Kratos come out of the shells, and the whole place is going crazy. And the whole time the orchestra is playing like the God of War theme song, and like, you know, there's Corey Barlog like off stage playing the game. And I remember watching his documentary, Raising Kratos, and they were talking about that moment too, and how nervous he was, and how much work went into that first E3 trailer. Rehearsals.
That was really cool. That blew me away. That moment did.
Yeah.
Sony. That's one of the ones with Sony that I remember a lot.
Yeah. So that was another cool you know, Sony moment.
Yeah. And I always liked Reggie Fils-Aime too, but he's retired now, so we'll have to see who's doing the new Nintendo stuff.
Bowser. What's his name? Doug Bowser. He used to be doing it. He probably did it.
So.
Has Reggie even really been doing like much for E3 lately?
Yeah, he's still in the directs.
Yeah, but they have like, he's not really that much of a presence as he used to be, like way back in the day when they actually had them at like E3 and everything.
Yeah, I always used to laugh when he was on there, so.
Yeah, he was always being
He's
goofy.
funny.
That's why Scott's chair is still held up.
Yeah,
If I was at the chair, would be gone.
He was like some of the first memes like on the internet. Like he was a big meme guy. So.
Yeah. Any of the ones, Scott, you think of?
I mean, there's a lot. Like, I think last year Microsoft did a pretty good job with just showing game after game after game. I'm hoping more of the same.
Definitely took a page out of Sony's.
Yeah, they definitely
smart
did
move by
evolve.
them.
The last couple of years, that's what they've been doing, and it seems to be working better.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this year.
Well, I'm hoping they'll show some more games this year because
That's what.
Well,
yeah,
was
I
it
gonna
last
say.
year that they announced all like their
The
developers?
companies that they bought? Yeah.
It was last year, right?
Yeah, they announced the one they created and the 4 they bought, and then they showed 2 more at their EXO 18, I believe, event. So
Yeah, I don't know if this year will be the year they start showing a lot of games or probably more.
I think it's
next
still
year.
gonna be a little bit early. Those
Yeah.
teams are kind of small.
Right.
You're probably gonna see another Forza game. This is probably Motorsport, right? I'm assuming it's Forza 4 came out last year.
Yeah, it was Horizon last year, right?
Yeah. So you know, I'm assuming we'll see more.
Halo.
But we'll see that for our predictions. But yeah, like Microsoft, you know, without Sony being there, and even Sony last year only showing their 4 games very much, and then you know they showed some other games like small trailers for Resident Evil 2, whatever. We can talk about that in our next episode. Where we talk about maybe recap of our previous predictions and see if they came true or not. But yeah, Microsoft is going to have the whole floor to themselves basically, and you know I'm gonna watch it just for the third-party announcements and hopefully some cool Xbox exclusive games I can also play on PC because I want to build a PC now and not get rid of my console. So it's kind of like the plan.
Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah. One more, just a little tidbit of news that I saw. Tim Schafer and Jack Black announced that they're going to be showing Psychonauts 2 at E3. That's a game that I drafted in my fantasy video games draft, and I really like the first Psychonauts game, so I'm looking forward to that. With that, we'll wrap it up for this episode. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned next week for some more E3 hype And we hope you enjoy our content. Subscribe to videos, like the video, and with that, we will catch you guys next time.